Hello and welcome into today's video. Today we are discussing the 5 things no one from I can tell has mentioned about anything here in this list. We have high set armor on the table that people aren't mentioning. There are 8 ascendant shards that you could pick up. There is a lot of things that the big YouTubers just aren't covering this season, and I feel like needs to be mentioned because they're big ticket items that make the season a little bit better, even if it is already one of the best seasons Destiny's had in a really long time. Especially if especially for a season that is launching with a DLC. I hope everybody enjoys the video. Now let's head into it. Alright, the first thing you should know about Season of the Risen is there is an explosive light grenade launcher. This is the first time we've had an explosive light grenade launcher since Wendigo was sunset. Explosive light is a perk that gives you 70% extra damage on GLs after picking up an orb of power. This perk is incredibly strong and has great synergy with Izanagi's Burden in certain raid scenarios. I've not seen any damage testing yet, but it's very interesting that they've brought this perk back to GLs because I figured they thought it may be too strong on GLs. I don't know. This should be the unnerfed version, but we're not 100% sure. I just wanted to put it out there that there is a GL heavy slot rolling with explosive light. Alrighty, here at number 2. This is a huge change that's been overglanced and really makes getting the weapons from the playlists, Crucible, Strikes, and Gambit, so PvP, Strikes, and Gambit, all very farmable. The rank up packages no longer drop world loot. They now drop only the loot available in the playlist. So your weapons are only the playlist available weapons, and the armor is only the playlist available armor. This really shrinks up your loot pool, and makes it so that long, grindy hours of playing each playlist no longer feels futile or useless, because, no more grinding strikes for 7 hours in heavyweight day to see 1 royal entry. It's now realistic to see 5 or 6, maybe even 7 royal entries in a day. And so if you're trying to farm out a royal entry, which is still one of the best rockets, especially for nightfall level content, right, then you can actually farm it out. That being said, Frozen Orbit is a great energy sniper rifle for PvE content, and it's now realistically farmable through PvP drops. So that is something to keep in mind when you're looking for something to do as the season progresses. These playlist weapons are now realistically farmable and not just unnaturally unobtainable, right? That is all for number 2 on our list. Alright, next on our list is that there is 8, and I mean 8, total Ascendant shards available to season pass holders. The reason I say season pass holders is because 1 requires the season, and then obviously the 3 in the premium season pass. You can get 1 from the Crucible, 1 from Gambit, from Drifter, and you can get 1 from Zavala, and you can get 1 from Banshee, along with being able to get 1 from the Helm. The war table now rewards 1 upon your first rank reset, and the 3 here in the season pass. This is 8 total Ascendant shards. That is 8 legendary pieces of armor, or 2 exotic pieces of armor and 2 legendary pieces of armor, fully masterworked. They are handing away. Please do not skip over these this season. That is a lot of Ascendant shards to be handed out to you to not have them. If you are short on masterwork materials, if you are somebody like me who burns through a lot of them very quickly, even after double loot weeks, please go get these 8. It is incredibly worth it. They're not that hard to get. Alright, this is for number 4 and 5. This kind of goes together, to be honest. So first up, I wanted to let everyone know that you can safely farm the Dreaming City weapons. And this is something that, personally, I feel like everyone should do. Vouchsafe alone makes this a reasonable farm. But the way you farm Dreaming City loot is really boring normally. And this is just, you're going to get umbrals. You have legendary shards. You're going to want a way to get rid of them. You want a vouchsafe probably for end game content. It is probably the best scout now with all tile rounds in the game. So I would make sure you farm these out. On top of this, not only do we have Dreaming City focusing, we have really good high stat armor focusing. Really good. You need to go into your upgrades here, and you need to choose the armor decoding clearance. I chose it week 1 because I wanted to test to see if it actually was giving high stat armor. It is giving very good armor. The armor you're seeing here on screen was different pieces I've gotten over the last couple weeks of checking out the armor and farming it here. And there's lots of really, really good pieces here that you should be aware of and you should be farming out if you are struggling to find high stat armor. High stat armor is not hard to come by, but lots of it frequently is, and this is a very good way to get lots of high stat armor at a very good pace without having to do anything too hard or too complicated. So if you are looking for high stat armor, I would make sure you come here to the helm, you make sure you have that armor decoding, and you start focusing this armor in. It's 1 Umbral Engram, 25 legendary shards, and 4 Risen Umbral energy. You get 2 Risen Umbral energy per chest open for the Psyops Battlegrounds, and if you have the right upgrade, you can get 1 every 2 to 3 activity clears of any regular activity. So make sure you are farming out that armor. Alright, well that's all for the video for today. Those are the 5 things that I think you need to be looking at as you head throughout the season of the Risen. That's not all the super big ticket items. There's a lot of really good weapons this season, but I want to make a second video. I want to make a different video so that way people know which weapons they should be looking out for this season. There's also going to be the raid weapons included in there, because the raid weapons I think need to be distinguished on their own, and I think they need to be farmed this season because next season we get a new dungeon and people are going to want to farming that out, and then the season after that we get a new raid. So end game loot wise, we're on a pretty short timeline to get loot, so I would start farming quickly because there's going to be a lot to farm. I hope everyone has enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider leaving a like on this video or subscribing to the channel. And I will see everybody on Thursday for a brand new video. Goodbye.